Have you been woken up in the middle of the night to pray? That's a clear indication that the Lord is calling you to intercede. Oftentimes, the Lord will put a person's name in your mind and your spirit. And when you wake up and He puts that name in your mind and in your spirit, you immediately start to intercede and pray for that person. You see, the Lord is calling you to stand in the gap for that person. Please forgive me as I look down to read this, but I really want to share this with you that when we're interceding for someone, that means to stand in the gap. To stand in the gap refers to a spiritual place between God's will and a current reality, a place of tension, danger, or delay where intercessors are called to plead and contend. In Ezekiel 22:30 says, I look for someone among them who would build up the wall and stand before me in the gap and on behalf of the land so I would not have to destroy it. But I found no one. So what is the gap? The gap is a chasm created by sin, rebellion, or spiritual ignorance or apathy. A space between holy God and a broken people. In that place between judgment and mercy, death and life, despair and deliverance. So when should we stand in the gap? We stand in the gap, intercede on behalf of others who can't or won't or cry out for God for themselves, delay or prevent judgment by appealing for their mercy, call heaven into chaos, inviting divine intervention where hell is currently having a field day. Here's the hard truth. We have a generation that talks more about prayer than they actually do. The altars are empty, the midnight hours are silent, and the spiritual watchmen have abandoned their post. So stop marketing and start weeping for others. So it's required to intercede, to know God's word, stay spirit filled, be persistent in your prayer because don't leave the gap open. Don't stop interceding and filling that gap for that person until that gap is filled. And carry a burden for that person and be willing to be broken because when God starts revealing to you what is going on, you will feel what that person is feeling. And furthermore, the last thing I will say is this: don't share that with nobody else. That's between you, God, and that person. And even that, not even that person's between you and God. He called you to intercede for them. God bless you.